Oh, hail Hydra! I'm the red-bearded skull, and welcome to the Rick and Dave Comic Book Hour! Oh, hail Hydra!
Hide my ass!
Welcome to Rick and Dave's Comic Book Hour. I'm Dave.
And I'm Rick!
And in this issue, we are going to talk about Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows. It's one of the Secret Wars
tie-ins
that they're putting out, and it's written by Dan Slott, and Kubert is the
Kubert is the
artist, and this is probably one of the best Spider-Man stories so far I've read in quite a while. What about you? What do you think, Rick?
I thought so too. I saw this at the shop and didn't buy it, and you were at the shop before I was, then you picked it up.
Yeah.
So you said it was pretty good, and I thought, well, it's pretty good to Dave. It's all right for me. So I picked it up and gave it to me. I read it, and I said, "It's awesome. It's an awesome storyline." And what we have here. So anyway, you go.
So there's issue 1.
Issue 1.
So and then issue 2. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. We won't give too much away because
This is a future that should have been with Mary Jane and their daughter May living the happy life. Well, kind of living the happy life because there's somebody out there that wants to collect all the superpowers of all the superheroes and supervillains and make him one big badass called Regent.
Yeah, there's a guy called Regent. Apparently, in this storyline, we were told that he defeated the X-Men and took all their powers, and then he proceeded to take on the Avengers and defeated all the Avengers and probably took most of their powers.
He helped some of them too on I was at it.
Yeah, I think he just flat out killed some.
Spider-Man was in on the Avengers, but someone kind of interfered with that, and he couldn't help them out when they were all going up against Regent.
Yeah.
And that villain kind of wore a black costume and the white spider on it, and all the villains from Rikers had escaped also at this point.
Yeah.
So the Avengers couldn't really go after the villains because
we won't tell you who it is.
we won't say anything about
Yeah.
it. So this one villain gets out, and of course his main goal is to go after Parker and his family.
Yeah.
So that was a good way. I mean, Spider-Man did something that we thought he wouldn't do to get rid of this certain supervillain, and of course it's going to play on him probably as the storyline continues because he didn't want to do this, but he had to do it to save his family because this supervillain would always come back for more and more vengeance against Parker and his family.
That's right. And then he needed to hide from this Regent who's taken over this part of the battle world or whatever, I guess, and
Right.
or whatever the story's. I'm a little confused on all how that's flowing, but anyway, it's pretty cool. So Parker devised a thing so he can hide his powers so they're not sensed,
And his daughter
and his daughter's powers also, so they're both not detected. And so that way they live several years undetected. And
that's where number 2 takes off.
Yeah, and number 2, so the little girl's grown up a little bit. She's in grade school, and something happens at the school, and of course he thinks it's his daughter's been ratted out.
People that work for the Regent, his little tree, and they all scan for powers. Because at this point in number 2, Regent doesn't actually go out and find people. He sends lackeys out to fight, take care of them because he's looking for bigger and badder prey. Yeah. And one of the bigger and baddest preys he wants right now is a Spider-Man.
Yeah. So everybody thinks Spider-Man's was gone with the Avengers, I think, or something along that line, since it all happened about the same time.
Yeah, they weren't sure.
And so they're pretty sure Spider-Man was gone. Well, then all of a sudden they see Parker in a hoodie zipping across town, and they're like, "Holy crap, he's back!" And they get to the school, and of course it wasn't his kid.
His maze got broken in an earlier incident, but that's why they thought that she was in danger. So both Mary Jane and Spider-Man are rushing toward the school, and it turns out not to be her.
Yeah, so the Regents assembled a stronger task force, and
show the picture of that task force.
Another version of the Sinister Six. A little bit different version than what we're seeing. We got a Vulture that looks kind of more like a Vulture, and Dr. Octopus has all mechanical arms. And looks like there's a little change up since we got all kinds of versions of characters we're familiar with, but not quite familiar with. So, and it looks like Peter's going to bring out the old black and white costumes. Yeah, it was Mary Jane's idea. She said
Because he was still
be a little more stealth.
You know, he didn't really want to do it, but Mary Jane, of course, talks him into it. I mean, Mary Jane's going to talk you into doing anything. So let's just face it.
That's right. She talked me into about anything, probably.
Yeah. So anyway, after saying all that, I think it's a great storyline. The art by Adam Kubert is great.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing this roll over into, you know, the regular continuity.
Because they want to have him grown up now. Anyway,
Yeah.
they talked about that, so maybe that will happen.
Kind of like what would happen if Mephisto didn't pull the whammy on the whole world and
Yeah,
make
true.
them forget, you know, way back when they did after all that Civil War stuff. And but yeah, so anyway,
It's only 4 issues too, right?
Yeah, I think it's just a 4-issue run.
I'm going to say right now, it's a good book. You pick it up. What about you, Dave?
I give it a thumbs up, and it's one of the better reads I've had in a while.
All right, we'll talk at you later.
Bye.
Good day.